You know the drill, so get going there.
Yep, and I'm going to do like Elijah and Juliana did. There's the video, and I'm going to apologize real quick for my cat who's in the background. She's very cuddly and apparently wants to be on my chair today.
Okay, let's see how you handle this. All right, we're going to go ahead and give your volume check and go for it.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I was 12, I hit one of the darkest periods in my life, battling with severe depression. It felt like I was drowning in a bottomless pit of darkness with no light in sight. But luckily enough for me, that light finally did come, and she has been able to teach me so much simply by existing. One of the very best people I know is my cousin Kirkland, who has the biggest heart I've ever known, has given me a brand new perspective on the world, and has saved me from myself on more than one occasion. So Kirkland is the daughter of my older cousin Holly, and they both live with the rest of my mom's family in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which means, unfortunately for us, it can be a while before we actually get to see them in person rather than through FaceTime. When my mom and I finally got to meet Kirkland and hold her for the first time, it was 2015, and she had already turned 2 years old. The second that it was my turn to hold Kirkland, she immediately started leaning into me and clinging to me like a monkey, and I couldn't believe how much love could be stored in one tiny little body. How she could have such a big heart to immediately accept someone that was just a face in her mom's phone before she could even understand what a phone was. From that moment on, I became addicted to being with her. I've always wanted to play with her, to the point of there were times I tried to get done with my homework a little faster than I should have, just to be able to be with her. There was one day when Holly brought her in to wake me up at 7 o'clock in the morning, which I am not a morning person, and I was going to virtual school at this time. So all my classes started at 7:30, not 8:30 like I was used to. But this one day at 7 o'clock, I remember hearing the sounds of everyone in the house getting ready for work and school, and suddenly feeling a tiny arm flapping around and hitting me in the chest, while I heard the cutest little giggles I had ever heard. I ended up curling up with Kirkland that morning for about 10 or 15 minutes before I had to go to school, and that was honestly the only time in my life I have ever been happy to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. There's something I haven't mentioned about Kirkland. Kirkland is an autistic child, which in her case means that she is non-mobile and non-verbal, which does not intrude on her intelligence. She is probably one of the smartest little 7-year-olds I've ever known, and that's not just the rose-tinted glasses of me being so in love with her. She truly understands everything that's going on around her. But in our family, we've learned that we have to know her body language in order to know what's going on in her head. When we were down there, my mom and I would go to her doctor's appointments with her physical therapist and her neurological doctors to understand what we needed to do to help her brain develop better and to build up muscle strength to try to get her moving around. We even figured out that when she got really mad at her mom, she would start following her in her walker and not even realize that she was walking. The second she did realize she was walking, she would immediately stop because she's just a little dramatic. But it's a family trait, and we love that about her. She really taught me the patience you need to have in this world, to understand that people don't always think like you, and I will forever be grateful for that. As I mentioned, Kirkland has also saved me from myself a few times. I am one of the many that unfortunately deals with suicidal thoughts and very, very rarely suicidal actions. When Kirkland came into my life, I kind of felt hopeless. I honestly did not know whether or not I would be sitting here today as a college freshman, because I didn't know if I would survive it. The best way I can describe it is that if you look outside and it's the perfect summer day with the sun shining and the light breeze, perfect to go out and play in. In my head, it would be a tsunami, everything black and thundering and loud, and it won't stop, and it just keeps going and going and going. Until finally, there's that moment of, well, the only way I can make it stop is if I were to go away. But now, when I go into that dark place, I see this tiny pink ball of sunshine, and I realize that if nothing else, I have to fight for her because I want to make this a better place for her and all the other children who deal with autism, and trying to understand how to navigate the world and make it a better place for them. Growing up, my mom has always called my cousin Holly her baby because Holly was practically her baby doll. They did everything together and have always been very close. Ever since I can remember, I've had that role for Holly and her sister Katie as well. But now Kirkland is my baby. I couldn't be prouder of her if she was my own child. Somehow she has this ability to lighten anyone's day with her unique smile and the way she flaps her arms when she's excited. My little bugaboo, I will never, ever be able to thank you enough for opening my eyes to the world around me, for being my very own superhero, and most of all for letting me be your Rai Rai. I love you, sweet girl. Thank you.